Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. That was it, Path of Carcosa, and we're going to be doing the Unspeakable Oath. Also, you may see I have some cards set up all along the side. I went ahead and pulled out a bunch of cards I'll be possibly upgrading into in the future. That way I'm not fumbling about with that in the future. Wish I thought about that, I don't know, 2 scenarios ago, though. Alright. Unspeakable Oath. Check the campaign log. If the followers of the sign have found the way forward, read Intro 1. Else, read Intro 2. Over the course of the next few days, you delve into the evidence you've collected, hoping to find any information regarding Daniel Chesterfield, a stagehand during the previous production of The King in Yellow. As far as you can tell, he is the only surviving member of that production's cast and crew. The rest of them, that is, those for whom you can find any records at all, disappeared or died soon after opening night in a variety of fashions connected only by their morbidness: freak accidents, suicides, vanishings. It would seem that Daniel is your only lead if you are to investigate further. According to the records you found, he was admitted to Arkham Asylum many years ago. All documentation about Daniel's treatment seems to end there. You're unsure if he's even still alive. Perhaps he was cured and released. You're hoping to avoid this, but there seems to be only one way to find out. You collect your belongings and head downtown towards Arkham Asylum. As you enter the asylum, you stop to speak with the receptionist, though you feel your body urge to step deeper into the clutches of this madhouse. He gives you a confused expression as you tell him of the King in Yellow and of Daniel, but at your insistence, he pours through his file cabinet, eventually pulling out a stark white folder. Inside is a wealth of information about the patients admitted to the asylum: medical records, psychiatric evaluations, and the like. You recognize a few of the faces as he flips through the pages. Daniel Chesterfield, yes? He is admitted under the special care of Dr. Mintz, but you can't see him. His level is restricted to staff only. You argue and insist to be let into the patient wing, knowing that Daniel must hold the key to understanding what is really going on. The receptionist gives a pitying smile and relents, nodding to the security guards nearby. Oh, of course, he says with all honesty of a street peddler. I will schedule a meeting for you with Dr. Mintz so you can speak with him about Daniel. These gentlemen will see you in. Relieved that you will soon get the answers you seek, you are escorted into the patient wing of Arkham Asylum. Check campaign log. If Constance Dumaine is under VIP's interview, go to Constance's information. We have interviewed her. You recall that Constance had told you when you spoke with her during her hellish dinner party, she and the other members of the cast and crew had been told by the director, Nigel Ingram, to take some kind of oath. At first, she'd written it off as the whim of an eccentric artist, something Mr. Ingram did as a strange formality to unite and strengthen the bonds of the cast and crew. And to his credit, she claimed that it had worked. Ever since they'd taken his strange oath, she and the other members of the troupe felt much more confident and full of spirit. Perhaps Daniel had a similar experience during the production of The King in Yellow. You must speak with him about this. Each investigator places the top card of their deck face down in their play area without looking at it. Treat this card as a courage asset with 0 cost, no icons, and 2 sanity. Discard this card if it leads play for any reason. And then we go to setup. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just shuffle the deck now. And whatever this is, it's now face down. And then this one, whatever this is, face down. We'll put it in the tarot card slot. We're not using that anyway. Alright, I am going to go ahead and go through the mulligan, since I might as well do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, a segmented onyx already. We also have a true understanding available and a test of will. It's not terrible. I don't really want the true understand. Yeah, I don't want the true understandings. I'm probably going to replace these because they're a little too unreliable. I believe the test of will be useful. Segmented onyx, I definitely want to keep those. We can live out the guts. And we currently don't really need the Eureka. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just draw 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a weakness. Replace it. Okay. So we got a sharp vision. That can help with the tempo, which will be good. And we can gradually get these segments of onyx out. Alright. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, both enchanted blades. We don't need both, at least not right now. Don't need the vicious blow. And we don't really need the 1-2 punch immediately. Everything else here is pretty good though. 1, 2, 3. Replace that. Okay, safeguard's rather good. All right, we got that going for us. Okay, let's go through the rest of the setup. All right, set each monster enemy among the gathered encounter sets aside in a separate pile. There should be 7 monsters and enemies in total. Set each possessed enemy among the gathered encounter sets aside in a separate pile. There should be 7. 7, 7. All right. Randomly choose 1 copy of Asylum Halls, Eastern Patient Wing, and 1 copy of Asylum Halls. Remove those from the game. Put the remaining Asylum Halls into play. Each investigator begins play at an Asylum Hall of their choice. I actually did not know about that. They can start in either one. Or at least I don't remember it. I might have just put both characters together regardless. Put the rest of stuff in play. Got it. And then we also get another -2 to the tokens because of easy difficulty, which is fine. Besides that, anything else? Sorry for weaving around the camera a bit. Check campaign log. Depending on the following circumstances, a different version of Act 2 should be used in this scenario. Each other version of Act 2 is removed from the game. If you took the Onyx Clasp, use Act 2 the really bad ones version 1. So we don't use that version. Okay. Shuffle the encounter deck. Something tells me we need to shuffle these. I don't think we need to shuffle these, to be honest. I think we're okay. Locked inside. The patient wing of the asylum is far quieter and lonelier than you had expected. The hall reeks of chemicals and body odor. As soon as you are escorted inside, the doors behind you are closed and locked tight. Too doomed to advance. Arkham Asylum, Act 1. Let's see, aside from the few patients giving you a wide berth, there aren't any orderlies or doctors around to speak with. Looks like you'll have to find Mr. Chesterfield on your own. Unspeakable Oath. So -1. If you fail, randomly choose an enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. And then the cultist is -X, which X is the amount of horror on you. And then if we happen to have tablets and elder things, tablets -X, it's based off the shroud value. And elder thing is 0, and then you either randomly choose an enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it, or this test automatically fails instead. Yeah, and that triggers even if you pass the check. So pretty brutal. All right, as for where we're going to start, our choices are East Wing or West Wing. I believe that's was the thing it said. Asylum at the asylum halls of their choice. Yeah, so these two. So we got the western wing. The pleasant atmosphere of the reception area disappeared as soon as Dr. Mintz shut the thick iron door behind them. The temperature dropped to a clammy chill, and a foul, sharp stench hung in the air. And then over here we have eastern wing. The pleasant atmosphere of the reception area disappeared as soon as Dr. Mintz shut the thick iron door behind them. The temperature dropped to a clammy chill, and a foul, sharp stench hung in the air. All right. I think we'll go ahead and start with the western wing, with both characters. All right, flip that up. All right. After you defeat a lunatic enemy at this location, draw 1 card. As they walk through the meandering stone halls of the sanatorium, Carolyn began to feel uneasy. It seemed like it would be very easy to get lost. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Zoe. Zoe's going to spend 2 resources to get Safeguard out. And then I'm going to spend 3 resources to go ahead and get out an Enchanted Blade. And then my last action is to go ahead and play the Mercy Cache, which is going to give you 3 resources and a draw card. Okay, 1-2 punch. just a quick thing. I'm going to make sure I shuffled. I did. Okay. All I do is I check to make sure it's different from the cards that I mulliganed earlier. All right. So, Minty Fan. Currently, we don't have much to play around with. I'm going to go ahead and spin to I'm going to fast play a segment of Onyx. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move. Sorry for zooming in like that. Let's go north first, and we'll go ahead and use the safeguard to follow. The yard. The fresh air and the illusion of freedom makes the asylum's courtyard a common gathering place for patients. Through the barred windows, dead tree branches sway in the wind. Gray, overcast skies trap the asylum in a dull limbo. Okay, there are 2 clues here and 1 shroud. While you're investigating the yard, it gets +1 shroud for each horror on you. If there are no clues remaining on the yard, take 1 damage. Remember that you incited a fight amongst the patients. Alright, so that was my first action. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and commit a sharp vision. So this is going to make it 7 to 1. And we'll be good to go on that front. Boom. This is what, -1? Yeah, -1, I didn't fail. I also beat it by like a ton. As long as I beat it by what, 2 or more? Yeah, 2 or more, I get an additional clue. So I get all the clues here. Also up here, the garden, the gate leading into the garden is locked. You cannot enter the garden. A lone statue stands sentinel over the garden. Cold wind causes dead leaves to roll gently across the garden path. All right. So I'll grab the 2 clues. I believe we need, what, 6 to advance? Yep, 6 to advance. So I'm going to go ahead and... for my last action, I am going to go ahead and just take a damage. And note that I have, just remember that we have incited a fight amongst the patients. I'll represent that with a resource token. All right, that is everybody. We'll go ahead and go to upkeep because there's no enemies. A segment of Onyx, nice. And Runic Axe. Okay, and this costs 3. I need to remind myself that. All right, then it goes to Mythos. We've already shuffled this, but I'll shuffle it one more time. And draw. Straitjacket. Revelation. If there is no copy of Straitjacket in your threat area, put Straitjacket into play in your threat area as an asset that takes up a body slot and 2 hand slots. Return each asset in those slots to your hand. This cannot leave play except by the ability below. Discard Straitjacket. What are you doing? I'm not crazy. So yeah, both my hands and body have been taken up by this. Something to note about treachery cards that are on your threat area. Other people can actually spend the actions to activate its effect, so someone else can rip off the straitjacket for you. Thankfully, it's on men, so we're okay on that front. And hidden card. This is you cannot play events. Got it. All right. Also, did we add a doom? We did not. Here we go. 1 of 2. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and have men go. I'm going to go ahead and fast out another segment of Onyx. So we're 1 away from that. I'm going to go ahead and move. Again, Zoe will follow using Safeguard. Then I'm going to go ahead and move again to check out the mess hall. A wide open doorway leads into the Silence mess hall, where patients would have their meals. It's quieter than you expected. There are no chairs scuffling, dishes clanking, or patients speaking with one another. After you successfully investigate the mess hall, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. This has Victory 1 on it. Rows of tables are covered in dirty dishes and stale food. You get the feeling they took mess too literally here. Alright, so discarding cards will be a bit annoying. Yeah, we'll go ahead and investigate with our last action. Was this difficulty 2? Yeah, difficulty 2. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and draw a card. Or not draw a card, we'll do a check. We pass, draw a card. Okay, Analytical Mind. And we get 1 clue, and then we have to discard a card. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Overpower for now. Alright, next will be Zoe. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 actions to get rid of this annoying effect. And then I'm going to spend 3 resources to go ahead and play something worth fighting for. And then that'll be it for her. Right? Upkeep. True Understanding. Upkeep. Stunning Blow. Mythos. It advances. The Patience. Speaking with the Patience is proving more difficult than you had assumed. They eye you cautiously and refuse to answer any of your questions, backing away or fleeing if confronted. Either they're not used to guests or something about you is causing them a considerable amount of distress. Some act like animals backed into a corner, and you think at any moment they might strike. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each of the set-aside lunatic enemies into the encounter deck. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies and place it behind the act deck without looking. Okay, so shuffle the encounter discard pile and each of the set-aside lunatics. Shuffled. Okay, and then randomly choose an enemy among the set-aside monsters. Okay, and put it over here. And it'll be placed beneath the act deck, so it'll be over here. All right, without looking at it. Okay, and then Torturous Descent. The longer you spend in this hellish place, the more you want to leave. Already, it has felt like days. You fear that if you are stuck here any longer, you will become like the Patience, a husk of your former self, unruly and dangerous. Okay, card. Surges, and I don't have 3 horror. Walls closing in. Test 4 will, where X is the shroud value of your location, which is 2. If you fail, you must either take 1 horror for each point you fail by, or randomly choose one enemy from the among the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking at it. I am going to go ahead and commit a True Understanding to this, so it's going to be 5-2. As a pass, since I passed on a scenario card, I will get a clue from this location. And since it's not an investigate, I don't lose a card from it. Alright. Next. Another bad card, another hidden card. And again, can't play events. Okay. Let's go ahead and go. I'm going to go Zoe first. So I'm going to have her move and join the fun here. Then she's going to investigate. Right now it's 2-2. I'm going to make it 4-2 because this is the this is a question mark for each action that has been completed. So we've completed 1 action so far, and then this is the second action. So 4-2. I don't think there's any -3s. There's not. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just investigate. We pass, I believe. Yep, we pass. Okay, we get a clue here. We do have to discard a card though. I'm going to discard Steadfast. And then last action, I am going to go ahead and investigate again. And Min is going to go ahead and commit an Analytical Mind. So 4-2 again. It's a pass. I get the clue here, and I have to discard a card. I'll discard the Stunning Blow. Okay, next will be Min. Min is going to go ahead and move. Let's see. Oh, the door leading into the kitchen is locked. You can't enter the kitchen. The narrow door in the back of the mess hall is locked. The scent strikes you as you from behind the door is foul and repugnant. Okay. Well, actually, sorry. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and advance the act because we have succeeded. All right. Key to the basement. Turning a corner, you nearly bump into a nurse with light brown hair and sharp features. You tell her about the violent patients and the strange things you've seen, but she doesn't listen. When you inquire about Daniel, she informs you that he is a patient of Dr. Min's and that he resides in the secured basement level. Unfortunately, she refused to let you into that area of the asylum. The investigators must choose. Any investigator could do a 4 test to intimidate her to get the keys, and you go to 2A. If failed, you must choose an option you have yet to choose. Then you can do 4 agility to try to steal. You can do 4 intelligence to try to persuade, or you can knock her over and grab the key and remember that you took the keys by force. All right, So for right now, let's go ahead. If you fail, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't exactly want to promote failure. Unfortunately, my options are kind of limited. I'm going to go ahead and go with the intimidation. We'll have Zoe do it, and she's going to commit a 1-2 punch. And I'll have Min help with it. Yeah, we're in the same location. So Min will help with this. So it's going to be 6 to 4. Oh, go to hell. All right. Then we're going to be in trouble. 4. Okay, all I can do is a 4 to 4 check with intelligence to try to persuade. Okay, all right. Then anyone have +2? Okay, so it's impossible for us to actually pass this. So we're going to end up going to take the keys by force. I still have to do a check though, so I will. Because I think it's like, yeah. Or do I just choose? Oh, okay, I could just do the I could just give up. Okay, so I will took keys by force. I think I just need to remember. Yep, remember that you took the keys by force. All right. The really bad ones. Daniel is somewhere in the secured basement where the most dangerous patients are kept. Now that you have the key, you can explore this area of the asylum. Ignore the text on the unrevealed sides of Arkham Asylum locations. And the objective, find the patient confinement location of Daniel Chesterfield. You'll be instructed when to advance. Okay, so it goes to Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and move. I can now access the kitchen because it's the Arkham Asylum location. And see what's here. If there are no clues in the kitchen, test 2 will. If you succeed, remember that you set a fire in the kitchen. Dirty dishes fill the sinks and cover the countertops. An unimaginable sludge boils on the stove. Yeah, so what's kind of funny is you're kind of doing all these and you're not really sure why. So I move over here. I'm going to go ahead and do investigate. It is 4 to 2. I pass, and then 4 to 2 again. I pass. I get both the clues, and then next round I can see about possibly fixing this issue. All right, let's go upkeep phase. Yeah, double crit fail. Who'd have thought? I mean, that's last scenario happened with that too. All right, Wolf Mask is nice. Mythos. Something I missed here. Oh, I gotta throw in the discard pile in here. Did I forget to do something? 1 second. Okay, sorry, I second guessed myself. I went ahead and put back the walls and closing in back in the discard. So the only thing that happened is I shuffled the encounter deck, but that doesn't really matter since I didn't know what cards were coming in anyway. All right, so with that, we're now on this Mythos, and let's go. Boop. Oh, a hidden card. All right, and then yours. After Maniac engages you, take 1 damage and deal 1 damage. All right, take 1 damage, deal 1 damage. Also, you get a resource. All right, good stuff. All right, with that, we go ahead and go straight into investigation phase. I'll have Min go first. I'm going to go ahead and set the fire to the kitchen. This is a true understanding thing, but I'm not going to use it because there's no clues on it. I do pass. That's -0. All right, we'll make a note with a resource token. Second action, I'm gonna. The remaining actions, I'm just gonna move. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to. I'm going to remove this whisper in your head first and discard it. I would have been able to move once, but that would not have helped me much. All right. So with that, we got a Maniac to deal with. So let's deal with that. I can't play events. So first we'll punch it normally. I think that's just -1. Yep, -1. So it was 5 to 3, so now 4 to 3, so I pass. 1 damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a charge and attack again. And that kills it. Last action, I'm going to spend a resource and play my wolf mask. I'll just put it in the accessory slot since I'm not using it. Alright, that was a quick round. Upkeep. Guts. Stand together. Well, we are not really hurting on resources, so I don't really need to worry too much about that. Mythos. Get a Doom. Get a card. Another one of these. Peril hidden. Cannot trigger activate abilities on locations. Okay. Randomly choose one enemy from among the set-aside monster enemies and place it beneath the act deck without looking. Discard Gift of Madness from your hand. Okay. A little annoying, but not the end of the world. And I get hit by another damage. So damage and damage. Okay. We'll have Min go first. Min is just going to be hauling butt. So 1, 2, 3. Zoe will move with it. Since this is not an action, it won't provoke an attack. Alright. I've already read the back of this. Take one horror. Action, take one horror, evade. Automatically evade a lunatic enemy at this location. As they walk through the meandering stone halls of the sanatorium. Okay, it's the same thing as before. It seemed like she would be very easy to get lost. Yep, it's all the same. Alright. Goes to Zoe. Zoe is going to go ahead and pop a charge. And attack this maniac. Okay, 2 damage. And then attack it normally. Dead. And then we'll go ahead and move to follow. Alright. Find the patient confinement location with Daniel Chesterfield. Yep. Alright, let's go with upkeep again. Eureka. Upkeep. Zoe's Cross. Okay. Oh, actually, I do have an accessory. Who'd have thought? Let's just... I don't have an armor slot, so we'll just put that there. Okay. Mythos. 3. 3 out of 7. Draw. Comes into play. I either take one horror or your psychopath will get stronger. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put the horror on this. Next. It'll surge. There are no lunatic enemies. Against... oh, we do have one. Test 3 will. I currently have 4 will, so we'll see. Oh, we'll see how that goes. Was that -1? Yep, that is a pass. So nothing happens. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to play Zoe's Cross. Spend an action to go ahead and engage this psychopath. I'll gain a resource and then use Zoe's Cross to put a damage on this. And then I'll attack it. Or attack her, rather. Success. Dead. Alright. Zoe. We got the infirmary. The scratch plaque on this wooden door reads infirmary. This must be where the doctors treat their patients. I am going to go ahead and move over here. And this place just a heal damage and take 1 direct horror. Or heal 1 horror and take 1 direct damage. Our methods are proven. Victory 1. I wasn't going to have Zoe follow. There's no reason to. I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and investigate this. I'm going to go ahead and use Eureka. So this is going to be 5 to 3. It's a pass, barely. Search top 3. I will take the preposterous sketches. Alright, and then I'm going to spend action to go ahead and use said sketches. One, 2, 3. Alright, pallid mask as far as away as possible. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, we got something to do. Alright. Okay. we'll work with that. Goes to enemy phase upkeep. Eureka. And another enchanted blade. Okay. Mythos. Let's go to 4. Yellow sign. Test 4 brain. If you fail, take 2 horror and search your deck for a madness weakness. Draw that card and shuffle your deck. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use guts to make it 6 to 4. Alright, we pass. We do draw a card. Oh, I should have done true understanding. I'm an idiot. Alright, so young psychopath. I'll take a horror on this, just to make my life a little easier. Okay, also gain a resource and then use Zoe to do a damage to this thing. Alright, I will go ahead and have Zoe attack this. It's a fail. I'll attack it again. Success. And then I am going to start moseying my way over this way. Alright, it goes to men. Men will go ahead and investigate. Again, I'll use Eureka. I succeeded. I can take it back in my hand. And I can take a look at top 3. I will happily take that strange solution. Okay. Next action, I am going to go ahead and place a strange solution. Then I'm going to move. I should have gotten this last clue. There we go. Alright. Mythos, enemy, upkeep, draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, cool. Mythos, we're up to 5 out of 7. Don't have horror. Got roaches. Okay. And then for you, ooze and filth. We'll put that up here. Alright. We'll start with Menti Fan. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these charges to attack the roaches. I am 6 to 3. We're good. They're dead. They take 3 damage. Alright, that's first action done. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move down into the locked area. Basement hall. Dank air drifted out of some of the darker hallways, Carolyn asked. Do some of these passageways lead underground? Nurse Heather nodded. It's a very old building, Doctor. That didn't answer the question. Alright, after the basement hall is revealed, put the 4 set-aside patient confinement locations into play. A cramped stone staircase leads deep underground to the basement level of the asylum. Cries and howls of anguish torment you from behind the hall's many iron doors. You can't imagine what it would be like to live your days in this place. And it has victory 1. It'll be here. Patient confinement. Alright, I believe it takes all 4 of them. Yep. Alright, we're going to go ahead and shuffle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I spent an action moving, fighting, and I'll go ahead and investigate while I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and use Eureka. This will make me... Actually, I will not use Eureka. Yeah, I'll use Eureka. I'll use the secret ability to make this 6 to 4. Alright, we pass. Yay for that 6. Actually, it's the cultist is -0 on this. Top 3. I'll go ahead and take the I'm gonna take the laboratory assistant. And then shuffle and grab the clue here. So for these things, as an additional cost to enter patient confinement, you must spend 1 clue. The heavy metal door is firmly shut and locked from the outside. The thin slit that would allow you to peer inside the cell is stuck, and all of them say the same thing. Okay, we'll go ahead and go straight with Zoe over here. I'm going to spend 2 actions moving all the way to here. And then I'm just going to spend an action... Actually, I'll spend 1 action moving, and then I'm going to spend 2 actions getting rid of this event card thing. That should take care of that. Alright, next. Upkeep. I am going to go ahead and discard the... What do I want to discard? We'll discard the Rise of the Occasion. And for you, Flesh Ward. Nice. Mythos. We're up to 6 out of 7. Nearest Asylum Halls, most remaining sanity. When you attack Mad Patient, take 1 horror. Sometimes the most terrifying of foes is one's own mind. So only the Asylum Halls, right? Yep. So nearest one would be up here. All right. And then for you, test the shroud value of location is 2, so 4 to 2. We pass. No issues there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with Zoe first. We're going to go ahead and move in. We're going to go ahead and spend an action engaging. We're going to gain a resource, and then I'll use that resource to pay for Zoe's cross and do a damage to this. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack the man in the pallid mask. I am currently going to go 6 to 4. God. Alright, so I moved, engaged, and did this. Alright, well, I'm going to take a horror soon. That was annoying. Alright. Well, I have some options later on, but yeah, not much I can do about it now. Goes to Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 resources to get out the Laboratory Assistant, which gets me 2 cards, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and, that was my first action. Second action, I'm going to investigate. This location is 4 Shroud, and I have 4 Intelligence, so I'm going to go ahead and use Perception. I pass, I draw a card. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and do a shortcut move, and we'll start with to the right. I have to spend 1 clue, so I will. Oh, I was supposed to get a clue from that, by the way. Boop. Flip this over. Test X, where X is the amount of horror you got. If you succeed, you recognize the room. Remember that you were called the way out. Okay. I'll go ahead and amount of horror on you, and if you succeed, all right, I'll make the test. Why not? And I'll go ahead and commit it to understanding while I'm at it. I pass, and I'll get the clue from this. Oh, actually, wait. I take that back. I can't do it. I have a Gift of Madness. In that case, I will, for my last action, I'll get rid of it. Randomly choose 1 enemy among the set-aside monsters and place it beneath the act it without looking at it, and then discard it. Okay. Here you go. Have this. All right. Enemy phase. I'm going to take 1 horror, and let me read about that card again. Discard this card if it leaves play for any reason. Okay, so it's just going to get discarded. And it was a beat cop, apparently. Alright, then it goes upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Upkeep. Wolf Mask. Alright. Mythos is going to push. Oh, also this should have gone away a while ago. I don't think it had any influence, but I will check. Give me a second. Okay, it did influence 1 test, the test I did in the basement hall for the one of the clues there, but I drew a cultist, and so it ended up being, instead of 6 to 4 with my ability in the Eureka, it should have been 6 to 5, and I drew a cultist, which would have done 0, so it was fine. Okay, so with all that, I just flip this over. The yellow sign. In the back of your mind, a force beckons. Have you seen it? It calls to you. Glimpsing something in your peripheral vision, you turn and find a familiar symbol peering back at you wherever you look. It is etched upon the doors, drawn on the walls, painted on the patient's canvases. You cannot escape it. The lead investigator must randomly choose an enemy among the set-aside monster enemies and shuffle it into the encounter deck without looking. Check the campaign log. If Constance Domain is not listed under the VIP slain, search the collection for Constance Domain a little too sociable and spawn her in the garden. So choose an enemy among the set-aside enemies and shuffle it into the encounter deck without looking. Okay. And then we got his domain, flee while you still can. When you would place an enemy beneath the act deck, shuffle that enemy into the encounter deck instead. Okay. Do this again. Nearest hall. Next. Corrosion. X is the shroud value of your location. I'm currently in a 2 shroud, so I need to discard 2 points worth of item assets. I will use the enchanted blade, and that will meet it. Of at least X, yeah. So I'll discard the... Actually, I could do it from hand as well, but yeah, I'll just do this instead. Okay, discard it. And then we go to investigation phase. I'll start with Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and now do the thing on the patient confinement. I will go ahead and commit a true understanding for this. It's still 0, so I pass. I get the true understanding back and get the clue here, and we'll make note that that thing is a thing. All right, we're moving 2 more. Spend a clue. Get in here. Okay, after patient confinement is revealed, advance to Act 2B. Daniel's windowless cell is hopelessly dank and grim. The walls are covered in erratic scribblings, which upon further inspection appears to be passages from the King in Yellow. Alright, 2B. 3 geese in a flock. When you enter a cell, you find Daniel huddled in a corner of the room, sobbing and rocking back and forth on the ground. No mask, no mask, he stammers over and over. You help him to his feet and try to console him, telling him that he is not crazy. That strange events have been occurring throughout town ever since the King in Yellow returned to Arkham. It's Nigel, he exclaims, gripping you tightly. Nigel made us speak his name. He made us speak the oath, and now he lives inside us, controlling us. Don't you understand? He rambles on. We spoke his name and the price that was paid. Haster, Haster, O King. You believe you might understand more about the situation if you can calm him down a bit. But you'll have to get him out of this asylum if you are to accomplish that. Choose an investigator at patient confinement, Daniel Cell. Set aside Daniel Chesterfield card asset side up into play under the investigator's control. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each enemy beneath the act deck into the encounter deck. So there are 2. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip that over. All right, and then here he is. He does take up a slot. Exhaust Daniel Chesterfield. Give control of him to another investigator at your location. When you take horror, if at least one of that horror is not assigned to Daniel Chesterfield, take 1 damage. And if he leaves play, remove him from the game. He's not doing all too well. I understand. All right, well, in the meantime, we'll go ahead and replace you then. Okay, so we got that going for us. Next. Planning the escape. With or without Daniel, you have to get out of this place as soon as you can. Ignore the text on the unrevealed side of Arkham Asylum locations. Objective. If investigators have performed 4 of the following, you must advance. Nose the patrols, set a fire into the kitchen, inside of the fight amongst the patients, release a dangerous patient, recall the way out, and distract the guards. We did that. We did that. And we did this. So what's remaining? Release a dangerous patient, recalled the way out, and distracted the guards. So I've done 3 of them. Wait, know the guards' patrols? No, it's recall the way out. Inside of a fight, set fire. And those are the only options, it looks like. Okay, maybe the garden has something? Whatever it is, we only have so much time. Give me 1 more moment. Okay, I was just verifying that the doom was correct. It's hard to keep track. All right, so it goes Zoe's turn. Zoe is going to go ahead and deal with the man in the pallid mask. First, I'm going to attack, and I am currently 4-4. I'll go 6-4, 7-4, and get +1 damage. I succeed. He's taken care of. And he gets discarded. I will remember to go ahead and note this. This is our 5th time chasing the stranger. That was our first action, by the way. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and move. back here. And then I'm going to spend... at this point, I'm fine with just spending... I'll spend 4 to go ahead and... Or spend 3, sorry. Runic Axe, just 1 less. I'll play the Runic Axe for now. Okay. Goes to upkeep. Thankfully, these guys don't move. They're just kind of hanging out. Alright, upkeep. You have to resolve this. Draw Mythos. Another one. It surges. And I get one of these. Okay, that's not a big deal. I do have too many cards in my hand, though. I will go ahead and drop the True Understanding and the sketches. Oh, actually, we can keep one of these. I'll keep the True Understanding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And then for yours, oh wait, that was upkeep. This is going to go to here, by the way. Discard that. Upkeep. Okay, good to go. Mythos, and then whatever this is. Cannot move more than once each turn. Gosh. And for you, cannot commit skill cards to the test. That's fine. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to have Zoe go first. I want to go 1, 2, 3, because it's no longer locked. Alright, if there are no clues here at the garden, test 2 foot. If you succeed, remember that you distracted the guard. So I only need to, what, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as long as we do this effect here, we can get out, because we only need to do 4 of them. I don't know if there's any victories here, but I don't think I want to stick around here any longer. So that was all of Zoe's actions. I'm going to go with Min next. I want to go ahead and move 1. And I actually will go ahead and get rid of this card, because it's going to murder me. Okay. Enemy upkeep. Upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll go ahead and discard the True Understanding now. As for you, upkeep. Okay, you're still alive. Okay, Mythos, we're at 2. Ooze and Filth. We're not going to be investigating anytime soon, so that's fine. Another hidden card. It's the bad one. We need somebody to actually do this eventually, so because it's an action to activate this. Okay, that's all right. Well, let's go ahead and take actions. I can go 1, 2 down to here. And then I'm going to spend a charge to do Hunt with the Runic Axe, so I can attack. I can move and attack. Immediately move to a connecting location, or and then attack, essentially. So 1, 2, 3. I'll get 3 resources. I'll spend 1 in the cross to go ahead and do 1 damage to one of them. I then will go ahead and attack that one. I will take 1 horror, so I will put that on something worth fighting for. I'm currently 5 to 2. Also, I should have gotten an offering back. Alright, that is successful. It kills that one. And that was all of our actions. I moved twice and then I attacked with the axe. And that's fine. I didn't commit any skills, so that's fine. Okay, then I'll go Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and shortcut. Actually, I will move up 1 space. And then I'm going to shortcut another space. And then I'm going to have Zoe follow using Safeguard, which won't provoke. And then I'm going to spend an action trying to... I'm going to go ahead and engage one of these. and then I'm going to attack it. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. How much damage can you take? Yeah, actually, I will engage one and attack it. I will take one horror, which I'm just going to put it on this card. And here goes, use a supply. Alright, do enough damage to kill it. And that is it for that round. Alright, I'm going to go enemy phase, which is going to hit Zoe for 1. And then upkeep. Oh, good. That's actually helpful. Alright, and then upkeep. Alright, so I have, what, 3? I have too many of these. Let's discard the wolf mask. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Alright, next. Mythos. 3 out of 8. Basement halls. Asylum Gorger. 4 attack, 4 evade, 5 health. Hunter. Asylum Gorger cannot make attacks of opportunity and cannot attack during the same phase it moved from its Hunter keyword. So it's just a big slow thing that hits for 3 and 3. Doesn't have retaliate. Alright, and the other thing, lowest remaining sanity, it's a tie, but technically it's Zoe, because she has lower max sanity. Hunter, while engaged with an investigator with 4 or fewer sanity, gets strong. Screeching Byakuya gets +1 fight, +1 evade. It's otherwise 3/3 and has 4 health and has victory 1. Gain a resource. I'll spend that resource to go ahead and do a damage to it, like so. And then let's go ahead and dive into this. I'll start with. I'm going to go ahead and start with Zoe here. I can't commit skills, so I can't help much for that. What I can do, was it skills? Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and do, I'm going to do 1-2 punch. First attack is going to be 5-3. Does a damage. And I'm attacking the Byakuya because I want to get the victory. Next will be 6-3, and it does 2 damage. I'm assuming that's still -1. Yep, -1. Okay, he gets thrown in the victory, which I'll happily do. Okay, 4 victory. That's enough to get a lot of things. All right, so that was my first action. Second action, I am going to go ahead and attack this Mad Patient, which is going to put a horror on me. And I am going to go ahead and use power, so +1 damage. And that gets rid of him. Last action, I'm going to go ahead and we'll move a space. All right, and then Zoe will go. First, I'm going to fast out this segment of Onyx. All right, if you have 3 of them, I can do a lightning bolt action. Thankfully, so this is a lightning bolt action, so something to note in the future. All right, set them aside out of play, and then get the Pendant of the Queen and put it into play. Here you go, Pendant of the Queen. It is accessory. Has 3 charges on it, and if it runs out of charges, I essentially get all the Onyx segments reshuffled back into my deck, which, with where my deck is at, it's pretty crazy. So as a lightning bolt, I can exhaust it and spend 1 charge to choose a revealed location and select one. Either move to that location, discover one clue at that location, or automatically evade an enemy at that location. So I'll go ahead and do that now, and get a clue from this location. It's that reveal location, right? Yeah, it has to be a reveal location, which thankfully we already did thanks to Zoe. All right, so that was fast actions. I'm going to go ahead and move next, and then move again. Zoe will follow using Safeguard. I definitely am a big fan of Safeguard now. I'll go ahead and investigate this location. I am currently... Was Ooze and Filth this round? I don't remember. Well, this case it's 4-4 right now. We'll go ahead and commit a deduction because it doesn't really matter. I'll use my ability to make it 6. 6-4. Passes. I do get the clue here. All right. Now for the moment of truth. One of us is going to need to pop their Gift of Madness. But that's fine. It goes to enemy phase. There are no enemies. Oh, there's one enemy. He's going to move up. Upkeep. Sharp Vision. Upkeep. B-Cop. Let's go ahead and get rid of Stand Together. Alright, Mythos. Halfway there. We gotta get out of here. Gauges me. It's gonna do 1 damage to her and 1 damage to so forth. When you take horror, if at least 1 horror is not inside. Okay, I didn't take any horror. It's just damage. Oh, actually, when you take horror, if at least 1 horror, I do take a damage earlier, because I did attack the Mad Patience earlier. So, and since I didn't assign it to Chesterfield, it was going to do a damage to me. Okay, good to know. Draw. I'll go ahead and take the horror for this, just because I can. All right. Kind of got a full house here. I'm going to use... I'm just seeing what my options are. We'll have Zoe go first. Oh, also, gain a resource, spend a resource, put a damage on this thing. Alright, so yeah, first I'll just attack her. It's right now 5-2. That's a success, that kills. I'm then going to go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and activate Gift of Madness. I have to shuffle in a... place it beneath the act deck without looking. Okay. Get that going. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and activate this location. I'm going to go ahead and use an offering to give myself +2 foot, so it's going to be 4-2. We succeed because I have 0 horror on me. So we have now distracted the guards. So with that, we distracted the guards, set a fire in the kitchen, incited a fight, and then we also recalled a way out. So we advance. Also, this Ooze and Fill should have been discarded. Alright. An orderly scream echoes across the hall. Within moments, an alarm rings loudly throughout the institution. Nurses and guards rush through the asylum in a desperate attempt to control the situation. You feel dazed and your vision is spotty as though you've been struck by something heavy. The walls blur together and twist. Creatures begin to emerge out of crevices and corners that did not exist before. A way out. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and each enemy beneath the act deck into the encounter deck. Done. If at least 3 monsters were shuffled into the encounter deck by this effect, the investigator with the lowest will discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a monster enemy is discarded and draws that enemy. So only 1 enemy was affected by this because it got broken up. I had 2 originally, and then that was the previous act. This act, it was only 1. So no worries on that front. No asylum. All hell has broken loose. Ignore the locked doors. Guarding gains action if there is no ready enemy in the garden. Resign. Finally, a way out. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. All right. So we got that going for us. Unfortunately, she can't get out right now, so we'll stick around for a bit longer. I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and use the solution. I'm going to be 6-3. That's success. I does 3 damage. That'll kill him. Alright. Exhaust. Choose a reveal location. Move to that location and do stuff. It's tempting to see what these remaining rooms are, because I can teleport there and then potentially teleport back. But if I get a corrosion, I'll be screwed. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, I did that wrong. I thought this was something different. Okay. 1 second. Okay, Zoe's was the correct one. Zoe's was the one where she can't activate locations, but I misread this one. I thought it was the same thing because it had the same freaking picture. But it makes it so I can't attack a lunatic enemies. So what I would have done instead is I would have activated it and just take a damage and then kill him. So it still ends up giving you the same result. It's just I did this in the wrong order. So put this under the act deck without looking. Okay, and that is it. All right, and then for my last action, yeah, I'll go ahead and resign. There's no reason for me to stay. I mean, as much as I would like to try to get as much victory as possible, staying, I don't want to tempt fate here. All right, finally a way out. Okay, goes to enemy phase. That guy comes closer. Upkeep. Actually, I should have stayed. There was a chance I could have drawn Zoe's weakness, in which case I would have been kind of in some danger. I mean, it wouldn't have been too bad. She can evade it, but still, it is risky. All right, just one encounter card. X is your shroud value. This place is 3. I'll go ahead and I can't commit skills, so it doesn't matter. We actually fail this. If you fail, you must either take 1 horror for each point you fail by, or choose 1 enemy from the set-aside monsters and place it beneath the act deck. I'll take 1 horror. I'm fine with that. All right, and then I'll go ahead and resign. And that's it. Hopefully I didn't make too many mistakes. Pretty much the big one was losing track of that +1 shroud thing every once in a while. But even then, you saw that the tempo was on my side, and even if that 1+ shroud was still up while we're up here, I have the necklace, so I could have just gotten everything anyway. So with that, everyone has resigned. We advance. If you took the keys by force, read the following. As you attempt to escape, you are spotted by the nurse you attacked earlier, leading a group of guards. There they are. Quickly restrain them. Resolution 2. Escape. All right. Resolution 2 it is. Each defeated investigator should resolve investigators defeated first. We didn't get defeated. You're confronted by a number of orderlies and security guards who bar your escape. Feeling cornered and trapped, you have no choice but to fight your way through them. As you struggle to escape, several of the patients nearby see their opportunity and attack the guards with a crazed fury. Nurse Heather shrieks and retreats, and in the ruckus, you are able to escape, bruised and battered, but free once more. It will take some time for your wounds to heal, but you have no time for that yet. In your campaign log, record the investigators were attacked as they escaped the asylum. How do you spell asylum? S-Y-L-U-M. Okay. Each investigator suffers 1 physical trauma as they are assaulted by the asylum's guards. Each investigator earns experience points equal to victory. We don't need to worry about Constance Domain, and then we do replace our cultist with tablets, and then we go to Interlude Lost Soul. So unfortunately, no more cultists. Now we have the tablets, which can be potentially worse. With that, we can go ahead and discard that, by the way. What else was it? Oh yeah, we need to take 1 physical trauma for both characters. Also, this should have been 0. +1, +1, and then put this to 4. And you get this to 5. Alright. So we'll be starting with 1 damage from now on, which is going to be annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Lost Soul. Did I not get anything else? Yep, that's it. Okay. Lost Soul. If an investigator resigned with the asset version of Daniel Chesterfield under his control, proceed to Daniel Survived. Daniel survived. You decide to lay low for some time in Ma's boarding house and hide Daniel from the authorities. Although you're unsure how long you'll be able to stay in Arkham with an escaped asylum patient, Daniel is a loose cannon, dazed and unresponsive one moment and screaming for his life at the next. It takes several days for him to realize he's no longer institutionalized. which for some reason makes him even more terrified. He's coming for me. He's coming for me. He rambles, sometimes for hours at a time. Finally, during an unusually warm and starry night, Daniel is calm enough to open up to you. The King in Yellow it's not just a play, he explains. It's a being named Haster, and he's already claimed me. But there's still time for you. You're not yet possessed. You have yet to speak the oath. Whatever you do, speak not his name. Do not give in. You ask him about the strange events that have been happening across town and of the cultists and creatures you've encountered. They are trying to find Carcosa, he says matter-of-factly. You recognize the name as the fictional city from the play, the one the King in Yellow rules over. They want to release Haster from his prison, but you can open the way to Carcosa before they do. You can seal Haster for good. He grips you tightly as he rants, quickly before the stranger discovers our plan. Hours later, Daniel is incoherent and unresponsive once more. You take a long walk to ease your thoughts, mulling over this new information. You're unsure what to make of this wild claim before you make a decision. But what to do next? You return to find the door to your room broken open. Daniel lies in a heap on the ground, his face colorless and body limp. Judging from the bruising around his neck, you surmise that he has been choked to death. Each investigator earns 2 additional experience as they had gained insight into the machinations of the Tattered King. The investigators must decide. Choose one. Possessions, oath. There must be another explanation for all this. Proceed to ignore the warnings. We must heed Daniel's warnings. We must not speak the name of the King in Yellow. Proceed to heed the warning. I will heed the warning. Heed the warning. Okay. For hours, you struggle with this insight into the... actually, I'm just going to make sure I did this right. Yeah, resign with the acid version. Okay, so yeah, I did that correctly. Okay. Heed the warning. For hours, you struggle with this insight into the King in Yellow. What is true? What is real? Only you can sort through this madness. In your campaign log, record that you heeded Daniel's warning. Mark 2 conviction in the campaign log. Each investigator gets 1 additional experience as they gain insight into the machinations of the Tattered King. For the remainder of the campaign, any investigator who speaks the name of he who shall not be named aloud during a scenario or during the setup of a scenario, that investigator must immediately take 1 horror and then proceed to Scenario 5, Phantom of Truth. So we gained another 3 experience, putting us at 7 and 8, which is amazing. We do get plus 2 conviction, bringing us up to 5. I don't think I've gotten this high in conviction before. I don't remember. I don't remember much of this, but there's probably reasons why I don't remember. You heeded Daniel's warning. Okay. All right. So with that, we are now ready for a Phantom Truth. And yeah, we'll have plenty to read on this. We'll do that next time, though. So Min has 7 experience. So we're going to spend 4 of it to get 1 of the cryptic researches. That much is certain. I'll use that to replace a preposterous sketch. So do that. That cost us 4 experience. So that's 1 thing taken care of. All right, 3 experience left. What do we have to play around with? Gumption, Brute Force, Dauntless Spirit, Perception, and Deduction. Part of me wants to grab Perception over Deduction, just simply because it gives me more card draw. Because everything else kind of will fall into place easily then. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and take Perception for 2, and I'm going to go ahead and take 1 of the Brute Forces. As for what I'll give up, well, 1 of them is going to be a Perception. That much is certain, because it has to upgrade it. So 1 of Perception get replaced with the upgraded Perception. And then for Brute Force, let's go ahead and get rid of... I don't think we want the overpowers anymore. And I'd rather have a Brute Force now. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. Replace. I'll lose the card draw, but I'll get the attack power, the extra damage, which is what I would. When the few times that Min's going to either commit this, it's going to be for the damage rather than the card draw. Okay, so that should take care of everything for her. I'm just going to verify I have everything correct here. By the way, you can be discarded. You don't need to stick around. All right. 33 cards. Oh, is that right? So I originally had 30 cards, goes up to 33. I have the Man in the Pallid Mask. I think I have an extra card somewhere, and I don't know where. Because it should be 35, right? Give me a moment. Okay, I found the extra card. I accidentally threw in the pendant of the Queen in here. That's what happened. So as soon as I find the pendant of said Queen, there we go. Take that, eyesight. All right, takes care of all that. We'll be stuck at 1 doom, or one physical damage now. All right, Zoe. So that was all of her experience. We have 8 experience to spend. We have a nice supply of things over here to play with, as well as upgrades to do on our runic axe as well. Upgraded safeguard would be kind of neat, but it's not desperately needed. Better overpowers is kind of scary. Stand togethers, honestly, I don't care about, and I only need 1. The upgraded 1-2 punch. You automatically succeed on the first attack and does +1 damage, and you may fight again with +3 and deals +2 damage. This also, the you may fight again doesn't have to be on the same target, I don't think. If I recall the wording for this. Yeah, you fight that enemy again, but for the other one, it doesn't. So I believe you can attack the other targets, though that's usually not what you use it for. But essentially, this could essentially pump out 5 damage. So upgrading both of those could be a thing to do. I have 8 experience. I have exactly enough to do it because I can down the rabbit hole both of these. The enchanted blade's good, but I don't actually powered and draw cards and all sorts of good things. God, there's a lot of options. I want to upgrade. I want to upgrade one of the 1-2 punches. So that's going to cost 4. And then I can always have that in the stick to the plan, just in case I ever need it. So that's 4 with the and one of the uses of down the rabbit hole. Then I can spend 3 experience to do Script Weaver, and that'll make it so every time I use a charge, I can do multiple things with it. So I can do Glory or Hunt. In fact, I should have been doing Glory. Well, I actually didn't have many opportunities to use the runic axe this time. So yeah, we'll do this, which will spend 3. And that leaves 1 unspent XP, which there's nothing that's 1 XP that I can afford, I don't think. Yeah, not really. Okay. So that is it. We'll go ahead and call it here. I am The Depressed Eeyore. This was Arkham Horror, the card game, Path of Carcosa. We were playing the Unspeakable Oath, and next will be a Phantom Truth. I'll see you guys next time.